Doing a kind of quick, maybe like 15, 20 minutes. Sony State of Play Ramble. That's what it's called, right? I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday, maybe. I did watch some of it. I wrote down some of the games here. Not every single one, but most of them. Some decent stuff coming out. Just want to kind of talk about it a little bit. I figured, why not? I think it's been a while since I've kind of reacted or not. Just talked about some of these game things that the companies do nowadays. But there's a new Kena game coming out. I gotta keep playing that other one because it was a cool looking game, had a nice style to it. And it was like a throwback PS2 era game, which I can appreciate. But apparently there's another one of those coming. I forget what it's called. Kena something. Looks really nice again. Seems to have that kind of same gameplay. Of the other one that looked cool. Castlevania Belmont's Curse looks really cool. It's 2D action, the classic look. It has a nice look to it, I should say, but it's the classic Castlevania style. It looks fun, fast-paced combat. That looks nice. You can always go for a nice, good Castlevania game. In the vein of the old 2D ones, the Metroidvania, as people started calling them. The Metroidvania ones. That style of gameplay with the searching around and stuff. Control Resent. As a sequel to the first Control. Look kind of cool. I will say there was other games, so many games, and this has been going on for a while. This is not just this generation. This might have started up big time last generation, Xbox One, PS4. So many of the games coming out, to me, they all look the same. They just have the same, it's like a guy running around, girl running around, beating the shit out of stuff. You get abilities. It seems, they all just have the same vibe to me, There's a few where I'm just like, yeah, it looks like the same thing. That game Pragmata's coming. That looks kind of cool. I was breezing through it, so I didn't. That's a Capcom game. Capcom. But there's a girl and like a robot type thing. Look kind of interesting. That's coming fairly soon, I believe. There's a game called Crimson Moon, which I thought it was a new Darksiders game at first because it had like the art style of the Darksiders game. Like the main character looked like Darksiders. Like one of the characters, one of the horsemen, Darksiders, had that look. Once again, it looked decent, but not something I'd probably play. Like I said, a lot of these games they look so similar. There was Yako, Shinobi. I think they said that was made by the people, or some of the people from dating back to the Tenchu franchise. Is that what they said? It looked more like a top-down type thing. I guess I was kind of breezing through a lot of stuff. I think they showed something with Resident Evil 9. That's coming out this month. Apparently, there's because I was looking, I was like, oh, I'm not going to pre-order it. But I was on Amazon and it was like coming out. It said it was coming out in March. I'm like, did it get delayed? I'm like, did the pre-orders just go through already? Too many? Everybody's bought it, pre-ordered it. That's fine. I could wait on that for like a month if I have to. Maybe there's a quick sale. It goes down to $50 or $60. I do want to play it, but I'm not like immediately going to jump into it. Got to pay the taxes this month, so I don't want to spend any unnecessary money. Or when that comes out, if it's February 27th, it's the end of the month. I would have most likely paid them by then. What else do we got here? Project Windless. Is it like you're playing as a giant rooster in this? It looked like Dynasty Warriors type stuff. It actually looked kind of interesting, kind of goofy in a way, but it also kind of seemed like it had a older school vibe. And most like they showed more First Light 007. I'm really excited about that game. He does have the scar in this. Didn't Bond have a scar in the books? Did he not have a scar in the books? I need to look this up because I'm pretty sure like the actual Bond from the novels has a scar, right? Yeah, he has a 3-inch vertical scar in Ian Fleming's and original James Bond's novel. So he has this in this. Now he's young. Obviously, I think they're like, oh, we're bringing back the double O's, and then they're like, we're bringing back the triple ones and the quadruple twos. That's the sequel. 007, triple 14, quadruple 28. Apparently, there's a 009 up to no good, like 006. Looks cool though. I'm always excited for the Bond stuff. Looks pretty good. It looks like it has the feel of kind of a lot of Bond's movies. You know, it seems like it blends together a lot of that stuff. So it's kind of cool that you're getting him at the beginning. It's no James Bond Jr. Remember those? I think they made it a cartoon too. It was a cartoon. There was like video games James Bond Jr. But apparently he was just his like nephew, which was weird. I don't know if they showed it. I was like this breezing through. I don't know if they showed anything for the Fatal Frame 2 remake. That's coming out in March. I got a pre-order on that, and they're not telling me it's going to get here in March, which I don't like because I want that shit to come. I don't want to be like, oh, it's delayed or something. I'm excited about remakes of old games. Star Wars Galactic Racer. So it looks like you're using all, like, what was that one they made? The pod racing one from episode 1. It looks like you're using all types of vehicles in this. At first, I was like, this looks like Quantum Redshift. You remember that game from the original Xbox? I think it was an original Xbox exclusive. I had it briefly. It was like F-Zero type. But it was like, I thought it was... At first, I was like, because I didn't see that. I wasn't like really listening, and I didn't see... I went back and I saw the Lucasfilm at the beginning. I was like, wait, Quantum Redshift. Look kind of cool if you're into racing games. You got a bunch of Star Wars vehicles and stuff. There's something called Darwin's Paradox, which looks to you like an octopus. It's like a platformer. You're doing puzzle type shit and stuff. Look kind of neat. Silent Hill Townfall. Apparently, it's made by the people that made Stray, I believe. They're developing it. Konami's obviously publishing it. But some people are saying, like, if you go to the website or something, it takes place in Scotland in the 90s or some shit. It looks very UK to me, from what I've seen on pictures and videos of towns in the UK, England, Scotland. Specifically England and Scotland. I was looking in the comments on the one, and everybody's like, I guess people from over there are like, it was like Birmingham or something. Sound Hill, Birmingham. This guy seems to be waking up from whatever he goes back to the thing. Someone's talking to him. Once again, there was a Pyramid Head, like, adjacent type character. He had, like, some weird, it almost looked like an axe for a head type thing. It reminded me of Silent Hill Origins on the PSP. I think it was actually on the PS2 as well. Where there was, like, another Silent Hill weird-headed character. There's, like, wannabe Pyramid Head type shit. It looked like it was in first person. It was very brief. I think the guy had some kind of radio as well. I'm trying to remember back. The music was kind of cool in the trailer. Couldn't get an idea of how creepy it could be. You can't really, in my opinion, from survival horror games and trailers. Of course, once again, you could argue the same thing with Silent Hill F. That they don't need the name Silent Hill, but unless Konami has some overarching thing where it's all going to tie together at some point. I feel like they're just throwing it on there because it's a known name, and it's probably easier to sell a game that says Silent Hill, Townfall, Silent Hill F, whatever, then it would just be called Townfall. Although it would probably get less scrutinized because, people are chomping at the bit to tear apart when these certain horror games, certain franchises, any franchise of video games, puts out new stuff. Like, people, I think, are more excited to bash it than to be excited for it. That's just the way humans are these days, right? Anything comes out, like, you're more looking to attack it than you are to like it at first. I'm always like, I want to be pumped at first. That's how my thing is. And a big example for me was the Silent Hill Revelations trailer. It was Revelations, the second one, movie they made. Where I was watching the trailer at first, I'm like, it kind of looks like Silent Hill. I kind of want to see this. Then I watched the trailer again, and I was like, ooh, no. Like, I get excited at first, then I'll rewatch things, and then I'll be like, I'm not liking this, I'm not liking that. I'm not going into trailers for games or movies wanting to hate it at first and looking for things to hate. But we all know this, especially in the YouTube space, negativity sells. Negativity is more lucrative than being positive. That's just the truth of the matter. For everybody. Sometimes you're like, I want to more say criticism. Some people just go into the negative stuff. Like, I like hearing nice criticisms of stuff. I mean, nice, but legitimate, like, criticisms are like, yes, yeah, that. Not just like, yeah, I'm just being negative to pull in some cash type thing. Hey, I'm not going to fault you for it. It's lucrative business. And that's not being negative about everything. I see this stuff about wrestling on YouTube, video games, movies, music, other people, other big YouTubers. Like, but I am one to like things at first, and then I'll rewatch trailers and be like, okay. And then ultimately you want to play the thing, right? You want to start to see gameplay stuff. I'm talking about games specifically now. And then you could really work from there. From what I saw of it, looks pretty decent. I want to see more, like anything that looks like it's in first person, which could be a little bit of a tougher call, but depends. Resident Evil made it work with 7 and 8. But I don't know. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of it. I like horror games. I'm not even necessarily looking at it as Silent Hill. I'm just like, okay, horror game, cool. I'm always down for the new horror games. Let's see how it is. Let's see how it is when it comes out. But for now, looks decent from what I saw. I wasn't like, oh my god, yes. But I also wasn't like, what the fuck is this? You know. There's a John Wick game. Full disclosure here, I don't think I've ever seen a full John Wick movie. I've seen some of the first one, but I'm not sure if I saw it full, and if I did, I can't remember. It looked kind of fun, kind of a little bit of a crazy action game. I mean, if what they were showing at the end of the trailer was gameplay, you know, I mean, I'm sure it could be cool. I know. I've seen scenes from it, and my friends like it. I've seen stuff on it on YouTube, and it seems to be like, you know, crazy action stuff. That could work for a game, or it could be terrible. You never know, right? Certain games like that, like, you're like, ooh, this looks like it's going to be slick, and then it's not. It doesn't work well, it's clunky or whatever, but it looked cool once again from the trailer. God of War Trilogy Remake, and yeah, I got the original, was his name T.C. Carson? He's back doing Kratos. He was the original voice of Kratos, I guess, in the first 3, and maybe, what was that 4th one that was pretty decent? It was like a prequel. Oh, God, I had it on the PS3. It was on the PS3. God of War something. I think you were doing the shit for Ares at that point. You hadn't killed him yet, obviously. You were doing the stuff for him. I can't remember what it's called, though. I gotta look it up. And then there was another one, a 2D type thing, God of War, Sons of Sparta, which I think immediately came out when the State of Play was going on. And then, before I looked it up, Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered is coming in like a few weeks, too. I was like, why couldn't they put all 3 of them on the thing? I wonder if that's getting a physical copy. I have it on the original Xbox. I'd be tempting at the price point to get it there as well, which is stupid. It makes no sense. I want them all remastered, damn it. What was the name of it? Ascension? Was it called God of War Ascension? I got it before it, I typed it in. It was right. And there was a couple on the PSP as well. This was a PS3 release. That was like a prequel. That's awesome. And you got the original voice actor back. Because the other guy, I guess, took over. I don't know if that guy voiced him in Ascension. I love the God of War games, you know. I've not played the Ragnarok. I played most of the 2018 one. I'm like at the end. I just haven't finished it. It's like Uncharted 3. I stopped playing it. And then all of a sudden I picked it up and played it again. And I had like 45 minutes left. I was like, wow. I didn't think I had that little left. There's a glare coming down from the freaking thing there. So whatever. God of War, they only showed the symbol, and it was the guy talking, the voice actor talking. And then they showed the Sons of Sparta one, which was completely like 2D different thing. Which is apparently out. No. Maybe you've played it. God of War Trilogy Remake, awesome. I haven't touched those games in a while. Fantastic games. So that'd be cool as shit. And that's also like a bonus and a problem. Because you're getting pumped for remakes of old games. Which, whatever, I mean, it's cool to relive that stuff, especially when it's remade and not just a remaster. Like the Legacy of Kain games, like the difference in graphics. I've not opened that one yet, but I've seen the side-by-side comparisons. It definitely looks a lot better, but it's not a full remake. But at least those are older games from a much older generation. And it's pre-HD generation. So, those remasters are going to look a lot better and cleaner. But it's a part of it's awesome to get the remakes and get pumped. And then part of it's like, I'm getting more pumped for remakes and remasters than I am for new shit coming out. That's a problem. Although, the Bond game looks cool. Resident Evil looks cool. I mean, those are, well, 007's a franchise too, but they haven't had a 007 game in a while. You know, Resident Evil's consistent with their games. Kenna gets a new game, Kena. The Castlevania looks cool. That's probably a highlight for me was Castlevania. I don't want to say Bond is a highlight of Resident Evil because, you know, they've shown tons of shit on that to begin with. Silent Hill will always be a highlight, but they didn't show a ton. And it was mostly just cutscene shit, which would look like some gameplay. I like horror games. You don't need to throw Silent Hill on it for me personally. I understand why you do it if you're just trying to bank on the name. Not that Silent Hill's like a known quantity, but it's never been on the level of a Resident Evil in terms of like sales and shit. Even back when they were putting out more copies, you know, when it was a more consistent Silent Hill before it disappeared. Konami's just like, time to start. They're not making the games, but they're pumping shit out. They're like, okay, we're Metal Gear. There's a Metal Gear, the second collection, Metal Gear Solid collection's coming out. I think it has Peace Walker, Guns of the Patriots, and something else on it. That's cool. There's a first one that has more on it. Eventually I got to pick up the 3 remake, because I played some of 3 on the PS2, I believe, but I never completed it. I definitely didn't complete it. I remember watching my friend play it. He was pumped because some of the, you know, you give Kojima that, like some of the weird shit he does. Like, just put the controller down and this guy will eventually die because he's so old. That's cool. That's unique. I like when he does shit like that. When he gets up his own ass with shit, it's annoying. But Kojima's always going to be a hell of a developer. It's not just him doing the shit, though, but game director and shit, you always give him his credit where it's due. I think it's more, I mean, I think the way he behaves, too, draws people in. He does have an aura to him, as they say. So I feel like he gets pumped up majorly by fans of his. And then it's like, I'm going to play this now, and it ain't going to be as good as you guys said it was. You guys made it seem like it was the greatest thing ever. But that's cool to get the collections like that. And I like the Metal Gear stuff. The ones that I've played, I like. Guns of the Patriots was great. At the time, it was like, holy shit. It still looks good now, I'm sure, but you're just like, oh my god. Then you get Big Boss was pieced back from parts of Solid Snake because we had to figure out a way for him to come back because I wasn't thinking that far ahead when I made it, when he died in the NES one. You know? So you're like, oh shit, we used body parts from him, he was somehow still alive. Admittedly, when he meets with his clone, Solid Snake, at the end of the graveyard in Guns of the Patriots, it's a very good scene. And the music's fantastic. It's a great scene. I like the Metal Gear Solid storylines, but they're so goofy. Like, I look at them as a goofy, just stupid thing. I'm not like, damn, this is deep. I'm just like, this is out there. I like it more because it's out there. I'm not like trying to get some kind of deep fucking meaning from it. Anyway, it's cool they're making that. And I do want to play that 3 remake Delta, it's called, or some shit. I keep forgetting it's out. Another remake, though. Fuck it. Remake Indiana Jones the Infernal Machine, now with the glitches in it still. But it seemed like a pretty decent state of play. Like I said, I don't get excited like I used to over games. It just doesn't hit me the way it used to. And that died for me personally after the PS3, Xbox 360 generation. I would still get pumped for that. Like, some games I see and I'm like, ooh, that looks cool, I'm interested. But sometimes I'd be like, you get that feeling, you'd be like, oh shit, man, I can't wait for this to come out. Now I feel like I can wait for games. You know. There's probably a few here and there where I'm like, gotta play that one. I'm more interested in playing Tecmo Super Bowl on Genesis or Super Nintendo. and the Sailor Moon game, beat 'em up that I got back at Book Off in Mass Peak when I was up there back in, was that May when we went? I'm more interested in playing those beat 'em ups. It's a beat 'em up. There's a couple Sailor Moon beat 'em ups that never made their way to the U.S. Or like Final Fight 2. Or like my attention span. It's like I want to throw in a game, play it for 20 minutes, a half an hour, and be like, awesome, I'm having fun. Like I don't like to commit to games as much now, so I have to be smart and not be buying PS5 games left and right unless I'm meaning to play at least half of them before I put it down. But anyway, end up making 20 minutes. State of Play Ramble. What are you excited for, if anything? And, thanks everybody for checking this out.